It's Laura Husband here from Hairdressers Journal International. We're thrilled to have you with us today. Today's session is on advice and support for your hair business moving forward, supported by Wella Professionals. So if you'd like to find out any more about the advisory service that we'll be talking about today, just click on the education.wella.com link, which you'll find in the comments on both Zoom and on our Facebook stream as well. And I'm absolutely thrilled to say that we've got Arnie Crowson here today, who's part of the Wella advisory team, and he's also an educator at the Wella studio and of course a hairdresser, hence he's got a lot of technical knowledge and business knowledge, and we'll hopefully have lots of words of wisdom to share with us today. Okay. We definitely, and we'll be we'd love to receive your questions this morning, and this is our first live session that we'll be doing since parts of the UK have reopened their salons. So thank you very much if you are tuning in, and we hope that a lot of you will be tuning in later as well once your shifts are finished, because we're sure you've all been really busy. But do let us know where you're tuning in from as well, as we'd love to know and we'd love to hear from you. So welcome, Arnie, and thank you so much for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, fantastic. Well, you've got a really fascinating role, haven't you? And I'm sure you've been super busy during lockdown, and you're going to be busy moving forwards as well. So shall we maybe just kick off with you telling us a little bit about the Wella Professionals advisory service, what it is and who can use it?
Yeah, definitely. So Wella Professional Advisory Line is there for hairdressers. We are hairdressers ourselves, so we're on the end of the line. We're there for you to give you support in sort of techniques, tonal qualities. If you have that one client that you're really struggling and having issues with, you can just give us a call or pop us an email, and we're there on the end of the phone or the keyboard to help you and let you know. We're there 5 days a week during the salon working hours, so you can just contact us as and when.
Amazing. And it's a service that, to be honest, I didn't even know about. It's like a hidden gem, really, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's fantastic. So how can anybody do you have to be a Wella salon in order to take advantage of the service, or can anyone take advantage, and how do they find the service?
Yeah, so it's we are Wella Professional, obviously experts on the end of the phone. So anyone can phone, but the guidance that we can give and support would be with Wella products. Anything with another brand or anything like that, we would obviously recommend going to them because they're the experts on that. But yeah, if it's just like a general hair question or anything like that, they can definitely contact us for that.
Amazing. And I think a lot of people tuning in will also be interested in how you got involved with this part, because obviously you're a hairdresser by trade, aren't you, Arnie?
I am, yeah, I'm thoroughbred. My mums and aunties and all that were hairdressers, so I sort of grew up on it and knowing the brand as well. But yeah, I worked in a salon for about 8, 9 years. And I just felt like I needed more for myself. So I actually went to go work, ventured out and worked for Dyson for a little bit. So educating people on the hairdryer. But my real passion was hair color. So as soon as the opportunity came up with Wella, I jumped at it, definitely. So it's what I've always wanted to do, so yeah.
Oh, you've just frozen there a little bit, Arnie. It's just frozen for a little. Advice and support for your hair business moving forwards. Oh, you've just come back there, Arnie. We had a little bit of a freeze there. I don't know if you noticed that.
Hopefully I wasn't like putting a funny face or anything.
No, yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, so what were you saying there? Sorry, I just missed the last part there, Arnie.
Depends where I left it from.
Yeah, we were talking about the fact that you've sort of, your passion is hair color, and you were super thrilled to become one of these advisors.
Yeah, I mean, hair color's always been, it makes sense to me, like the whole theory behind it and everything like that. So when the opportunity came up with Wella, I jumped on the chance, I actually started in the field as an educator. So I used to go around salons and host education sessions within their business. And then when the opportunity came up for this role in advisory and also educator in the London studio, I again jumped on that chance because again it's more technical and I love it. I paused again.
Arnie?
Yeah.
There we go, you've come back again.
Oh gosh.
Oh no, yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it, with live sessions? You've kind of the internet connection, sometimes they're absolutely fine and sometimes they're not.
Yeah.
So I do apologize for keep getting you to repeat yourself, but okay. Yeah, so you were just saying about how much you love the role. And
yeah, definitely, yeah, it's all technical, which I thrive on. I love it, so it's the best choice.
Perfect. And then, so maybe we should talk a little bit about how your advisory service ran before coronavirus and kind of what you were doing before kind of lockdown began.
Yeah, so we, like I mentioned, we ran from 9:30 to 4:30.
Yeah.
We were on the phones and we were on email, so people could send pictures and we could give guidance over email or over the phone, and that seems to be working for a very long time. But now, obviously, all this happened. We've had a lot of hairdressers, which is great. We've had them going on to the e-education website and completing the online modules and courses that we have on there to offer. It's amazing, like some people ring up and they're like, I've completed it, but now I've got a load of questions. So yeah. we're now hosting virtual consultations with professional hairdressers. So what they can do is they can book a slot with us on Eventbrite, and they can have a face-to-face just like we are now, and go through any queries or questions or anything like that.
Fantastic. And do you have people that are kind of use the service regularly, or is it always new faces that you're seeing on those virtual consultations and over email?
No. We get our regulars. Yeah, definitely. There's a few people that I've really got to know well over advisory. But no, definitely new people are contacting us all the time.
Really great.
Yeah, it's really good sort of support system, really. I just get to chat about hair color, which is great for me.
Fantastic. And I guess spreading the word about the service is great as well, because it means you'll get lots of new people realizing that they can tap into it when definitely, they might not realize that they could, which is fantastic.
Especially when I mean, I've been a freelancer before, where you're out on your own, and it's just sometimes nice to have that soundboard to just give us a call. You most of the time, 9 times out of 10, you know what you're doing, but sometimes you just need that reassurance and from another hairdresser. Yeah,
exactly, which is fantastic. What have been the most common technical questions you've been receiving over the past few months and weeks?
We've had the sort of situations of corrective techniques, because I think we've all been anticipating what our clients have been up to, whether they've been naughty or good. So some people have been doing a lot of sort of corrective learning, so learning how to remove certain hair dyes, but also as well long root regrowth, so how to tackle those when the clients come back into the salon, because we do have to treat it that little bit differently. Yeah, we've had a lot of oh, sorry.
And I was going to say, what advice do you give to people that ask those questions about how to deal with colour corrections and root regrowth?
Yeah, so we have certain corrective techniques that we can go through, but say it's a long root regrowth, we have to really look at the hair, have a reconsultation. And we have to treat the mid-band section a lot differently to what we treat the fresh hair that's coming out of the root. It needs just a little bit more of extra time on that mid-band. So it's just remembering that, otherwise you may end up with some funky patchy results going on.
Yeah, which none of us want that.
No, definitely not.
Do you get many business questions as well, Arnie?
Yeah, we do. We do get a few queries come through regarding to business. We are, again, we're hairdressers on the end of the phone. We're not sort of business experts, so we can give our best guidance with that. But it may vary for situations, location, that sort of thing, especially when it comes to like pricing. But we do, again, have business courses on our e-education website that you can take part in, like reopening and stuff like that.
Oh, fantastic. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And what specific help and support do you offer for freelancers?
So we've got, as I keep mentioning, we've got obviously our e-education platform. So for people that can't always make it onto a course in the studio or anything like that because they're really busy, they can just go onto there in their free time and just learn like snippets of information on there. But also from the advisory line point of view, you can obviously contact us and we can be there as a sounding board to help you, reassure you through clients that are having issues with their hair.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And what I have to sort of pick your brains a little bit as well, Arnie. So in terms of predictions, what are you predicting that you're going to be getting coming in over the next few weeks as everyone adapts to this new normal way of working? So obviously everyone's kind of been in the salon for a couple of days, so it might take a little bit of time for people to for those issues to crop up. But are you kind of prepping or preparing for what you predict will be coming in for you?
Yeah, I mean, definitely corrective techniques has been a big request recently, especially with the lead up to the opening, and also say like skin testing and stuff like that, if we're having to re-skin test, that's also been a big query. So we're just sort of like obviously being aware of that and coming up with responses.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And how many of you are there? Tell us a little bit about the team that you work with and
yeah, definitely
how you've adapted, because I'm sure you probably traditionally weren't kind of doing it from home, or how has it changed? How's it evolved?
Yeah, so it's usually two staples, myself and Sinead, who work on the advisory lines. You'll either get like one of us or both of us. And then we also gain support from the studio education team as well as field. The field education team sometimes pop in and help out as well, just to break up their everyday job. So you do get a vast, like a range of input from loads of different educators from all over the UK. Yeah, sometimes it's in London, sometimes it's in Manchester. So again, it still depends on sort of like who's working it on that day, but your two main staples are either like myself or Sinead, or sometimes you'll get Jamie.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
We're a good little team.
Yeah, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
And oh no, you go. What was you going to say?
I was going to say we've all got like kind of our niches that coming together obviously can make the advisory team work.
I was joking with you as well, wasn't I, Arnie, before we started, that you're a bit like an agony uncle, like people come to you with their problems.
Definitely, and sometimes it's not even hair related.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, we're there. Like, and sometimes, although it's a professional advisory line, we do sometimes get some consumers ringing up, like just interested. Obviously, we can only tell them so much.
Yeah, can't give them all of the professional secrets.
Definitely not. We have our limits. But yeah, sometimes people can ring up for about half an hour, like 45 minutes, just on the phone, just chatting away. It's actually quite nice. breaks
Yeah,
out.
I mean, it sounds
Yeah.
like, I'm sure for a lot of people watching, it sounds like a great job actually as well, because you get to live and breathe colour, don't you? But
Yes,
and
yeah,
get to help people with all their problems at the same time.
definitely, yeah. And that's what I love. I love helping people. So if I can do that over the phone or an email all over the country, that's fine by me.
Which is fantastic. I do have
Yeah,
a question for you, Arnie.
yeah,
So if someone's just done a colour corrective service since
yeah,
reopening, and the client is not happy, has gone home and is not necessarily 100% happy with the result,
yeah.
with everyone being kind of obviously swamped in terms of appointment bookings and everything,
Mm-hmm.
how should that stylist go about getting them back into the salon to take another look at it?
It is a tricky situation because obviously the times that we're in. If you want to visually look at it, I mean, you can always do what we do in advisory. We'd always recommend that you get the customer to take a photo. I know it's not the best way, but for now, obviously, take a photo in, say, a well-lit room, either near a window or outside. I just wouldn't say in direct sunlight. Because that can show up like all loads of like tones that probably aren't there when we're in like everyday life. So I would try and get as much photos from them as possible so you can assess it. And then it's just going to be a case of putting them in your column when you can and when it's safe to do so. Important as well not to obviously rush yourself or rush your other customers.
No. Because I guess historically, pre-coronavirus, they might have been squeezed into a column to get them sorted out quickly.
Yeah, or like an
unhappy.
assistant or assistant to do it, but sometimes some assistants aren't back yet.
No.
So obviously, it's less people in the salon, the better, really.
Yeah.
But yeah, if they want to send pictures into advisory, we can always give guidance because sometimes it can just be a quick fix. It doesn't always necessarily have to be a big one. So if they want to send them in to the email address, we can have a look and we can help you as best as we can.
Brilliant. And what is that email address, Arnie?
Yeah, so it's info, info, Wella UK at Coty Inc. That's COTYINC.
I'm putting it into our Zoom chat. So info at...
No, it's info Wella UK at cotyinc.com.
Perfect. So for anyone can email, and can anybody email that that email address, info wellauk at cotyinc.com?
Yeah.
So anybody watching, tuning in, whether they're Wella or not Wella, they could email that address.
They can send it in, yeah, and then we can obviously give them the best guidance that we can. Just reminding them that obviously we're Wella Professionals experts. So
yeah, that makes sense, of course. But I guess not, as we've discussed, not all of the questions coming in are necessarily strictly related to colour.
That's fine. We can still give guidance.
Do you deal with cuts as well? Do you deal with other types of styling? Yeah.
So no, it is mainly a colour support line. I mean, some technicians like myself, we're not sort of. I was trained more in colour. So if you rang me up and asked me like how to correct a graduated bob, I probably wouldn't be the best person to ask. But it is more there for colour support. Yeah.
That makes sense. But if say somebody did have a cutting problem, you might point them in the direction of somebody else who you think might be better equipped to. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, we also run like there's a few like cutting demos on the education website, and we run cutting courses at the studios. But yeah, it's more of a colour advisory line.
Definitely. And I have to ask you, Arnie, what's been your most memorable question that you've had come into you at the advisory service?
Oh, crikey.
Whether it's been difficult or super unusual.
Not
Put
too
you on the
sure.
spot a little bit there, haven't I?
You've sprung a spot on me. I'd say we get probably at least like one request a day. That's just a little bit on the bizarre side. There's always an answer, obviously. Trying to think.
Well, while you're thinking,
yeah.
I'll just bring in someone else's question.
Okay.
So Candy has asked, who do I report to people totally not following the guidelines? On one side of the road, hairdressers are doing all they can to comply, while another salon, or barbershop in this case, is completely ignoring the guidelines and putting people at risk. I wish to report these people. How would they go about doing that? Have you had anyone come to you with anything like that so far, Arnie?
Nothing like that. I mean, salons obviously opened on Saturday, so we've not had anything come through like that, and I'm a bit unsure on who that would be reported to be honest. I don't know if it's an official thing, or I don't think there's any hair police or anything like that. Yeah.
And as far as I know, though, there will be, as far as I understand, there will be some inspections taking place. So I guess hopefully those people that aren't abiding by the rules will get caught out if they do get inspected.
Yeah, definitely. Because
we have to keep safe. On the government website in terms of
yeah, it's important that we obviously stay safe and
everyone has to definitely, and all salons have to take a record of everyone they've had in the salon over the past 21 days as well, haven't they? So that will apply to definitely. So that will apply to salons that aren't adhering to the rules as well. So they should be doing that. So if it does end up being an outbreak, they should get caught out pretty quickly.
There'll be a spike, won't there? So
yeah.
So I can answer that probably a bit more officially, but it is just one of those things that it's out of our control a little bit. So I guess, like you said, it'll be monitored.
Yeah, definitely. And I have to say, from what I've seen and heard from hairdressers so far, clients really appreciate salons that go above and beyond to keep everybody safe and to have those hygiene measures in place. So I would have thought anyone who's not abiding by those rules will lose loyal clients.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because if they're not seen to be working, like making an effort, then they're not going to feel safe there, and they're not going to return.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Tracy has also said that the problem she's finding is being freelance is that she's finding that her clients aren't always willing to pay the prices for her colouring. Do you have any advice or hints and tips for her as a freelancer in terms of because obviously prices for everyone has had to go up due to extended regrowth and colour corrections and PPE and everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those awkward subjects. I mean, I personally used to struggle with it in salon as well. You've kind of got to really weigh up your costs. I mean, on our, I know I keep mentioning it, but on our education website, e-education, we do actually have a profit calculator on there. We have one for salons and we have one for freelancers. So what you can do is you can go on there, work out sort of how much you're using, like how much the cost is costing you, and then how much you can afford to charge. I think the important thing though is to not undervalue your work and yourself, because we're great at what we do. We've spent years learning and perfecting our craft. So it's really, really important that obviously we make people aware of that. And also another way you can do it is obviously you can offer them other alternatives. So, okay, maybe they can't afford that service, or they don't want to pay for that service, but how about we do this instead? So a half head of foils or a T-section can maybe just turn into a face frame with highlights to add some lightness to the face. That way, again, they're not wanting to obviously pay that much. They're not paying that much, but they're getting their hair done, and they can see the effects of that happening. So just giving them a few options of services. Yeah.
Definitely, that's great advice. And the profit calculator is on the education.wella.com website. Is that right?
Yes, is, yeah. It should be there next to the health and safety module that we've got on there as well, which you receive a little certificate for, which I've done myself because I love collecting certificates. Yeah, it's all on there and it's all free to use.
Oh, that's fantastic. Yeah. And I guess having that frank conversation about pricing, especially if pricing has gone up before the appointment, is that the key to success at the moment, Arnie?
So can you repeat that, sorry?
Is it important at the moment to have that frank conversation about pricing before the client comes to see you, or if you're a freelancer, before you go to see them, however your business works?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, there's nothing worse than an awkward situation at the end of a service. So just being really upfront and frank about it. And like I said, just offering them suggestions rather than going in with a full wax price. Because then again, they won't feel so embarrassed to say no or cancel their appointment the day before, or really annoying things like that. So you can offer them like a price range, and then it's up to them then to decide what they like.
Fantastic. And do you advise freelancers and indeed stylists within the salon to explain the breakdown of the costs and why the costs have gone up? Because that might help a client who's resentful of paying a bit extra to understand the reasons behind it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think most, from what I've seen online and like Instagram and stuff, I think most people are just glad that hairdressers are open, like salons are open, and freelancers are out there.
Yeah, exactly.
So I think at the moment they're willing to pay a lot, but for those of them that aren't, then yeah, I think just putting it in like your first like initial contact with when you initially contact them, just putting it out there that we are having to supply these materials and stuff like that for our safety and theirs.
Definitely. No, it's a great answer. Thank you very much, Arnie.
Yeah.
We've had somebody tuning in that is, this has been an amazing chat, Arnie. So well done.
Oh, thank you. It's not a family member, is it?
We were talking about your mum earlier, weren't we? But we don't think she's tuning in.
No. I was like, Mum, I made it. Look, I'm online.
Yeah.
Like, not first.
No. Well, we're thrilled to have you anyway, Arnie.
Thank you.
She'll have to watch it now that we've given her a shout out, won't she? So.
Yeah, I'll make her.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, we're coming to the end of the session, Arnie, so I think it would just be useful for everyone to just wrap up a few hints and tips for anyone who has just recently reopened their salon, to try and make sure that they're not kind of panicking about the issues that will be coming into the salon.
Yeah, definitely.
Sort of words of wisdom that you'd be able to share?
Oh, I don't know about wisdom. Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think the important thing is obviously don't stress yourself too much. Really think about what you're booking in, and sort of how you're going to manage that time. Think about quick express menus, color services that you can implement into your current services. So obviously everyone's being safe, staying safe, because what we don't want to do is obviously close all the salons again, because that would just be a nightmare. Exactly. But honestly, feel free, if you do get a spare like 5 minutes, like in between 5-10 minutes in between customers, or at the end of a day, or beginning of a day, just if you've got any queries or anything like that, just give us a call or send us an email to that email address. If you need help with techniques, toners, or corrective recipes or anything like that, please just contact us. There's also an element on our website, on the education website, called Trend Hub. It's just under the heading trending. And on there, you'll see like current trends with like techniques, with color mixtures, with everything like that. If you're just wanting just that little bit more inspiration for yourself, because we spent a lot of time not doing hair. I know for myself, like some of it's like left the building, but I'm back. Yeah. So yeah, it's really important. Obviously, we just like get ourselves all hyped up, all inspired, but at the same time, keeping safe.
And as well, I know when we've had a chat before, Arnie, you've said as well, a lot of it the people that you speak to, they do know what to do, they do know the answer, but it's just that reassurance, isn't it, and having faith in yourself that you do know how to do.
Definitely, yeah. I mean, like sometimes I'm on the phone for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
So someone will just ring up. They've got the client in the chair. They're panicking. I mean, I'm behind a chair. I'm a massive worrier. Yeah. When I'm on the phone and I'm teaching a course, I'm just like chill. I'm just like, it's hair color. But yeah, like some people like just ring up, want that reassurance, like quick, like 2-minute phone call, and then they're out there again. So we're just hairdressers on the end of the line. We're not some call operators or anything like that have been just trained to say a script. We've been there, we've experienced it. So yeah, please, like not begging, but please give us a call. Then
fantastic. You'll be non-stop. You'll be non-stop after this. But no, I think that's great. That's great actually for people to know that it can just be a quick 2-minute conversation with definitely, you just popping out, into the staff room if you've got a client in the chair, just to get that double check, am I doing the right thing?
Yeah.
And I guess definitely. It's better to do that than to go forward with something that you might have a bit of self-doubt about, and then you end up having to try and squeeze a client in again because they go away unhappy.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah. So we're there for you.
Jyoti has just asked, is the hub on Instagram?
So there's a few links to the hub on Instagram, on Wella Hair UK, on some of the posts, but you'll find it on the e-education website under the trending tab.
It's education.wella.com, and then you go to the trending tab on the homepage.
Yeah, and then it should say Trend Hub. You just click on that, and there'll be a selection of tones like silvers, rose golds, like creative pastel tones, and like really natural balayage looks. So there's loads of like mixtures on there for you.
So a lot of inspiration for clients that are saying, I want something completely different, help me.
Definitely. I think as well, like a lot of people are wanting different now they've let their hair grow out and stuff like that. They're looking for that next thing. So yeah, that can definitely help support you in that.
Fantastic. And do people ever call you up, Arnie, for that inspirational chat as well, for wanting to think outside of the box in terms of what colour they could give to their client?
I get that quite often. Just like if they've got a client in, they say, do what you want. I think that's probably one of the best, but also one of the worst questions we can be asked. Some people can just like, yeah, sure. But like myself, I'm a worrier, so I just start to go into meltdown. But no, definitely, we're there to talk things out with you and obviously get the best result for the client.
Fantastic. Definitely. So colour transformations as well, people can give you a call for that as well. It sounds like the service can be used for lots of different things. And people shouldn't be afraid to pick up the phone and give you a call.
Definitely not.
What's the phone number? Do you know the phone number, Arnie, or do people on the first instance, should they just should they email first and then they can
now you're asking a question. I don't know it off by heart. Let me just check actually.
I'll just say the so I'll give you the email address again. So it's info.wellauk@cotyinc.com. So that's the email address. That's what it was. info.wellauk@cotyinc.com. So you can email that address any time of the day or night.
I'm not set up at midnight.
You might not get an answer straight away.
No, sorry. But no, definitely, between the hours of like 9:30 and 4:30. Currently during lockdown, we're doing some extended hours of 8 o'clock till 8:30. So we're doing a whole 12-hour shift, just to help support as many hairdressers as we can.
Brilliant. And for more information about the service, you can also go to education.wella.com. And there'll be more information there with the phone number and everything. If you did want that phone number just for if you've got a client in the chair and you need that quick answer.
Give us a call.
That might come in useful. But if you've got something, if you've got a client coming in a few days' time or something, I guess the email address is a good way of doing it. If you've got a couple of days to prep something that's coming.
Definitely. Sorry, I don't know the number off by heart.
No worries at all, Arnie. I'm sure everyone's got the email address now, and they can go onto the website as well. And I guess the main point is that people should use the service as it is available to them.
We're there.
Yeah, definitely. Did you have any other last words that you wanted to share about it, Arnie?
Um, not that I can recall.
We've covered
No.
quite a lot, haven't we? We've covered
Yeah.
quite a lot of ground.
Yeah. I'll just answer that odd question one.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I did spend probably just over half an hour on the phone while talking about hairspray.
Oh,
That
fantastic.
was a fun half hour.
So I asked Arnie a bit earlier, for anyone who's just joined in, I asked Arnie a bit earlier, what's the most random or memorable question he's ever been asked while working on the advisory service? So half an hour about hairspray, that's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and it was our Silver Crin hairspray as well, like our consumer product, our retail product.
Right.
So I don't know much about that, but
No, of course.
yeah, half an hour on the phone about it. So
Well, that's fine. You obviously did know your stuff, Arnie, that's clear.
Yeah, seems it.
Which is fantastic. Brilliant. Well, we hope you do all have a good reopening, and that everyone's staying safe and being able to follow the guidelines and get their clients to follow the guidelines. And obviously Arnie and the Wella Advisory Service is available to you if you do have any problems, or you just need that extra reassurance, especially if you're a freelancer who maybe you don't have anyone else in the salon or in your space to kind of bounce ideas around. I guess you kind of act like that colleague
Yeah,
that you would have.
yeah. I mean, I love it because
Yeah.
I'm probably in an office by myself, so you keeping me company as well.
Definitely. Oh, fantastic. Oh, brilliant. Fantastic. Oh, someone has just jumped in with the advisory helpline number, actually.
Ah, amazing.
Thank you, Rob. So it's 0203 650 4712. And I'll put it into the Zoom as well so that everyone can see it. I think that's been put onto Facebook, which is fantastic.
Yeah. I just want to mention, I just want to mention as well, obviously, I didn't mention it, but the virtual consultations that we're doing, the 20-minute virtual consultations. So if you do have either like a long list of questions, or you just want to speak to us face to face, you can book it on Eventbrite, and yeah, book a time slot with us.
Fantastic. And can you access that again through the education.wella.com website, the Eventbrite virtual
consultations? Yeah, it'll be on there.
Brilliant. And I guess that might be useful if you want to show pictures or kind of things of what the client has shared with you. They can then share with you.
Yeah. It'll be on Instagram as well, the link, because the calls will all be via Instagram. So it's important that you guys have it, so we can, video call.
Fantastic. That's brilliant. Well, there's lots of options there for people to go down, and I'm sure they'll all be getting in touch with you, Arnie.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, definitely. Well, thank you so much for sharing all of your words of wisdom with us and for answering a few questions live during this session as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Really appreciated it.
No problem.
Brilliant. And we hope the rest of your day goes smoothly with helping people with their colour corrections and extended regrowths. And
yeah, I'll be here till 8:30 tonight. So.
There you go. So if you need to get hold of Arnie, you can get hold of him until 8:30 tonight. Perfect. Well, thank you so much for joining us, everyone. And we hope if you are busy in the salon or working with your clients on a freelance basis, that you'll tune into this live later on as well if you're unable to do so right now. And you can always call Arnie or email the team, which is fantastic. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much again. We look forward to speaking to you soon.
Yes.
Take care, Arnie. Thank you everyone for watching. Bye.
Bye.